3 o'clock, banner day. Got some thoughts later on the Tigers draft. No, I'm not angry. I think we need to talk through a few things. Also, what the hell is going on at Northwestern with Pat Fitzgerald? Rico with that story. Also, your thoughts on Slides with Socks by Rico. But right now, DeBrincat in town. It's what we all wanted. I think it elevates the offseason to a place where we can all agree. Now, clearly, there are going to be some people, sounding like the Hamburglar today, rubble. He's too short. He's not this. He's not that. Whatever. Those people, I'm sure they're a ton of fun at parties. There is a limited number of guys in this league who will ever score 40 goals. You got one of them. And if you believe in Dylan Larkin and the way you paid him, you sure do, then can we stop with the whole he only produced in Chicago routine? Last year he played in Ottawa and still scored 27 and still would have led your team. I'll put the over-under at DeBrincat goals as a Red Wing in his opening season here at 34.5, and I'll take the over.
See, I would go with the over as well because I think you're going to find out, like he scored in Chicago, what you got in Dylan Larkin. And I think that's going to help elevate him to getting to that over 34.5 goals.
Now, we promised you a dissertation. Kenny Cott is our resident Elliot Friedman. Kenny Cott is a no-nonsense individual. Kenny Cott is a hockey elite maven. Well, Kenny had complete all-caps thoughts on everything that transpired this weekend. So with that in mind, we wanted to start the second hour and allow Kenny Cott to be the spokesperson for this radio show and give you our feeling on the DeBrincat deal as we then get to your phone calls. Professor Cott, are you prepared?
I'm very prepared. We have some subpar production here, too.
I'm sure
We're
we
ready
do.
for it.
I'm sure we do. Live from 696.
A little pomp and circumstance.
What is this?
This is the dramatic reading music.
What if I told you?
This is the we can't play the 30 for 30 bed music.
Oh, God. This is called the copyright waltz.
Right.
This is 25 for 25.
Noted.
So the first thing, I took notes last night as I was sifting through this trade because I found many things noteworthy.
Finish. Cut his mic off.
You know what? I'm just trying to deliver the people
I know.
what they want. This is a low-risk contract. 4 years, under $8 million. And God forbid, if he doesn't work out, it's less money and less term that you'd be signing a free agent or him during free agency to. So there's silver lining if it doesn't work out. That's number one. And the cap will go up by the time his deal is falling off the books by around $10 million. So
it's like he was never here.
It's like he was never here at a 4-year deal. That's, to me, risk management that Steve Yzerman has done a great job in this trade at. Number two, everyone was expecting we'd lose one of our top prospects, a Casper, an Edvinson. Some people were even throwing around the name Mo Sider, Lucas Raymond.
Who said Mo Sider?
Idiots on the Twitterverse, Michael.
Well, there's your first problem.
But we didn't even give up Jonathan Berggren, a name that was even I and you were throwing around. We didn't even give him up. And that, I believe, is the price of Pierre Dorian waiting for just a little bit too long to pull off this trade.
This music, Kenny, it makes it sound like you're on a boat that's going down.
We're on the opposite, Mike.
This is not good.
Doesn't sound that way.
This doesn't sound happy.
I don't have any happy music beds in the system.
Okay, go ahead.
All of a sudden, the graphic pops up on the screen. Kenny never made it back to shore.
Kenny, 1997, 2023.
So, Steve, I don't know if I want to call him a liar. I'm not going to call him a liar. But what I will say is he had us all believing one thing was true for the better part of, let's call it a month, based on his comments in the draft, based on his comments before the draft.
So he manipulated the truth, is what you're saying.
He may have worked his way around the truth in a manipulative manner. And he had made us all look foolish for doubting that he would end up with a big splashy player. And he made us all, quite frankly, worry about it. So, again, thank you for lying to me if that's what you were doing, Steve. Please continue to do it for the following years to come. The next one, we still have picks in every round of the draft next year. And we can reload at any point with our prospects. We have trade capital. We now have draft capital that you thought, hey, if you're getting a DeBrincat, you're going to lose a Simon Edvinson or a Marco Casper or a draft pick that you don't want to part ways with. Well, no problem there. We still have draft capital next year, and we still have all of those guys. So another thing that Steve Yzerman did right is retain his assets.
What about Donovan Sabrango?
I was going to get to Sabrango, but let's start with Kubalik. Disappointing. Ability to score wasn't there when it was. It was very mid, as the kids would say. Middle six forward. We have a clear upgrade, and also Kubalik only had a year left on his deal regardless. So, again, another point for Steve Yzerman. Another game for Milos. Conditional first. For those people who don't understand it, all you really need to know is that Boston, we have one of their picks next year, and whichever pick ends up being better is the one the Wings retain. So
it's a pick swap, Kenny.
Yes, it's a pick swap. We get the better one. So I guess never mind. He's not a liar. He still has all these assets that he was carrying, and I guess he did manage them well because he said, "Hey, we're in asset collection phase, an evaluation phase." Well, we still have assets, so no problem there. I now understand the Yzer plan, and let's cap it off by saying this is not a playoff team, or this is not a Stanley Cup team, but this is a playoff team. This is a mid-90s point team. The expectation that this trade has made us a playoff for, 2 days team, up to a playoff wild card contender.
I mean, people, the professor has spoken. Right here, right now. I think we cap it with that because it got a little nerdy, but that's okay. Kenny's excited.
I'm just glad he made it back to shore.
I know. It was a scene from 1917. That was a live reading from Dunkirk.
That was the movie I was.
Jesus. All right. So here's the question.
He went right past Leo in the water.
Right.
Hey, what's up, man? Looks like there's room for two on there. I guess not.
Kenny floating by in his cider tea. All right. So here's the questions. A, are we all unified on this? Can we all move forward no matter what point on the Steve Bott spectrum you are? Meaning you believe he can do no wrong, you were becoming disgruntled, you were nervous, you were confident. It doesn't matter. We got the result that most of us wanted. Now, there was a weird portion of the callers who would call in who didn't want DeBrincat and didn't want to make a bold move and wanted to just sit and spin. But I'm not taking that as a majority.
No, but I think those callers didn't want to start the clock either.
Well, that's part two, because it started. Now we've reached results phase. Mm-hmm. That the words Ken Holland can't come out of your mouth. The situation he took over, ... can't come out of your mouth. We have reached winning phase. Meaning the results are what we're grading Steve Yzerman on point forward. And they have to be a playoff team. Now, if somehow there's this anomaly and the wild card, it takes 101 points to get a wild card. Work with me. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to crush them if they finish with 97 points. But you get my point. Mid-90s generally get you in. Generally. That's what they have to be. And if they go out and disappoint, I think you as a fan base, it's not even have to be willing. I think it is you have to wrap your mind around results matter. Steve Yzerman has lived the first 4 years of his tenure where results didn't matter. Mm-hmm. We're done with that now. That's how I feel. Now you're on the clock. We are looking at your performance.
You're absolutely on the clock. Yeah, because now it is playoff. And I'll even go so much to say it's okay if you get swept in the playoffs this upcoming season because you made it.
Wait. I have something. Now talk.
I'll even go so far to say, and this music fits, it's okay if you get swept in the playoffs. It's fine because you made it to the playoffs this year.
There it is. Thank you, Kenny. 2-4. Thank you so much. Next time I ask for academic music, perhaps I'll preview it. Because if that's what we came up with, that sounded like we were at a student's funeral. Like they got hit by a bus or something. What the hell was that?
Our production music was stuck on 696.
Right. I mean, seriously, it felt like one of those things where you see the graphic. Kenny never came home again.
Right. Kenny had so many hopes and dreams. 248-539-9797.
Right. Ricky never went to USC.
Kenny, the ticket text. What are the people saying here on DeBrincat Day?
Wow, this music coming live from the Titanic. Kenny Cott.
Live from 696.
Because we got this trade on the cheap, is there a chance that we can make another trade and trade more assets away? Yes, there is.
Yeah,
we can.
My guess would be deadline, though. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let this team come together. There's lots of new pieces.
Find out what it is that you need. You're missing that one piece that could actually maybe help you go further. And dare we start saying become a cup contender.
Yeah, there's another one. We have $3-4 million cap space. Go after a vet. I tend to agree with you, Mike. Let's wait till the deadline and see what all this fits. Maintain
the flexibility. Have the cap space to absorb. Let the young players show you if they've taken a step forward or not. Let the new pieces. I'm willing to wait. By the way, Kenny, that song, though, does not compete with. And don't worry, I've already sent that song.
A clear front runner in the Invitational tomorrow.
It has to be. The what was that? Mishkov.
This one wouldn't make the play-in game.
Well, I've already sent that song to my contacts in Philadelphia. We are going to have that for when he makes his Flyers debut.
Oh, no, I meant Kenny's song.
Oh, no.
It's right up there. Come on, man.
This is like me announcing I'm leaving.
Right. I mean, seriously, the only thing that's missing is the shivering dog in the cage under this music.
Right. Mike has retired his state fandom. He now roots for Georgia.
Welcome aboard, buddy. Usually the transfer portal works the other way around, and we send guys to you.
I know. Thanks.
Wow.
Thanks a lot.
But I'm privileged.
I know. It's hurtful. 248-539-9797. We're going to get your phone calls and hopefully no more sad music. Next, 97.1.